All right, everybody. All right, thanks to my good friend Rokas, we usually have an idea of what type of conversation we're going to have through the music we are playing. And you heard a bit of African beats in that music by Calypso Rose there. And so that is a little telling. Joining me this morning, it is Asha Lovelace, who is the founder and director of African Films Trinidad and Tobago. Joining me as well is Melanie Jones, who is the festival coordinator. And today's a very special day because it's two things. It's the launch of the 7th edition of Africa Films T&T, and it is also World Africa Day. So happy World Africa Day to both my guests and to everyone celebrating.
Same to you.
Now, Asha, this is the 7th year of Africa Films T&T, and this year is very different, and I'm sure last year would have been different as well. Tell us how you intend to go through the proceedings of this year to ensure that it is pulled off successfully.
Hi, good morning, everyone, and thank you all for having us. Well, yes, you're right. This year is quite different for us because we have had to go fully online with this festival. But I think what we did, we decided to kind of use it to our advantage. And where we have not in the past been able to, for example, invite a whole lot of filmmakers, we've had visiting filmmakers as well, but we have not had as many as we would have liked to. This year, we are able to collaborate with them virtually. So we've had a lot more Q&A sessions. We've had a lot more film talks. We have collaborated with DJs abroad and so on. So in a sense, we were able to actually expand the festival, if that, you know, within this kind of context.
Right.
So we're using that to our advantage this year, and I think it really promises to be an exciting one.
You know, with the opportunity to go online with all these things, you know, it still gives rise and it gives the possibility of so many more things. I mean, a lot of people think about, oh, well, it's online, it's virtual, you can't have the same in-person experience, but there are still some advantages that are posed by the online experience as well, such as having a number of guests who may not have been able to attend in person and such. So tell us about some of these guests.
Well, our opening film, which will go live this evening, is called Mercy of the Jungle. It's by a really talented young filmmaker from Rwanda. And actually, the film was produced by a company in Belgium, and our very own Trini Rianne Vialva works with them. So she actually worked on this production. So we were able to do a joint conversation with the two of them, talking about the experience of making that film, collaborating, you know, Europe and Rwanda to make this film and so on. This film also won, like, you know, some of the major prizes in film festivals.
Wow.
It won the grand prize at FestPaco in 2019. So, you know, having him and being able to have access to him was really a wonderful thing. We also had a wonderful conversation with a young filmmaker from Nigeria who did a film called Hakunde. And Hakunde Right. is a very kind of a drama with a hint of comedy. And it deals with this unemployment situation in Nigeria. So he talked about that and so on and so on. And he also talked a lot about the Nollywood film industry as well, which for me is a good example for us here as filmmakers, here in the Caribbean.
Definitely. And Melanie, I want to bring you in the conversation as well. As the festival coordinator, what has it been like getting all this together, getting all the people involved as well, and, you know, just really taking on the reins there?
Well, it has been challenging, to say the least. And I think a part of that is because, you know, we've just been in lockdown. We couldn't really come together the way that we would have wanted to socially, you know, because to be honest, you know, that social connection that we have with our team really gives us all the energy to keep going. So, you know, we kind of had to just adjust in that way. Apart from that, you know, just getting people to buy into the online. Yes, we understand that, you know, there's content online all the time, you know, Netflix, you know, lots of streaming platforms. So to get people to actually buy into this sort of niche market, I guess, is also a little bit of a challenge. So it incorporates a lot more marketing and promotional efforts. However, Facebook and Instagram makes that a little bit easy for us because you just, you set up your campaign there and you can pretty much target anybody you want to. So that's been a solution. Apart from that, I think it's been rewarding to access people outside of Trinidad and Tobago and really grow the festival in a way that it really never got the opportunity to grow before, by being online. So, overall, it is overwhelming, but at the same time, it is totally worth it because, we believe in the project. And this is something that, we see. It's been 7 years, so it shows some tenure. And we definitely see it, happening for a lot longer. So that's been my experience so far.
So 7 years of connecting the Caribbean with its African heritage and African roots as well through film and this festival. Asha, tell us, what has the last 7 years been like? Well, the last 6 years, and your excitement for this year.
Well, from the time we talked about starting this project 6 years ago. We had. I think I was fortunate to pull a very strong and enthusiastic and young team that felt that this was a valuable project, with regard to cinema as well. Most of the people on the team are filmmakers, former students from UWI and so on. And Africa is now, has risen tremendously in terms of film. And now Nollywood is the second largest film industry in the world. So, I think there's been a huge interest in film. So for that, we have been able to push forward. There's that interest in wanting to see what is coming out of the continent. So we've had that kind of encouragement. With regard to, getting support to keep the festival going, that has been a bit of a challenge for us, but we have found ways to make it happen. We have had our own fundraising efforts. We have had some sponsors that have stayed on board with us from day one, like the Republic Bank Limited, Power to Make a Difference, like the NGC. So we're very, fortunate to have had those on board from the start. And the ministry as well has offered support in the past. So yes, we've had our challenges, but for the most part, it has been a really vibrant energy pushing this festival forward. And we just look forward to it growing. And actually, even within these times, it has grown, So now that we not only feature films, we have a more integration of music and art and so many different other things coming on board with the festival.
All right, we just have a few seconds left. How do interested persons, what link do they go on, what social media page, so that they could become a part of this, take part in this festival?
So they go on to www.africafilmtt.com. That is your first point of entry. Every single thing that you need to know about the festival, any secondary links, you access it through africafilmtt.com. You can also follow us on social media at AfricaFilmTT or Africa Film Trinidad and Tobago on Facebook. And every single thing you need to know about the festival is there. Schedules, who's included, filmmaker Q&As, producer Q&As, live events, everything is on our social media and website.
Wonderful. I have to cut it there. I want to thank you so much, Asha Lovelace and Anani Jones. All the best for the Africa Film Festival. And we look forward to much more coming from that. And we can stay tuned all week. We're now going to take a break to the top of the hour for the news, and we'll be back with the second half of the show after that.